Elvis Presley, born Jan 8, 1935, then ruled early 70s Vegas with record-breaking shows. Now, his 1977 legacy fuels tourism and keeps him a global cultural icon. Stevie Wonder, born May 13th, 1950, then dominated 70s music with groundbreaking albums. Now, still performs selectively and advocates for social causes. Elton John, born March 25, 1947, then filled arenas with flamboyant 70s pop rock hits. Now, retired from touring but active in charity and special events. Paul McCartney, born June 18, 1942, then led Wings to huge 70s success after the Beatles. Now, still touring globally as a living music icon. John Lennon, born Oct 9, 1940, then created influential 70s anthems like Imagine. Now, his legacy endures through tributes and global peace movements. George Harrison, born Feb 25, 1943, then became a top 70 solo star with All Things Must Pass. Now, remembered for spiritual influence and timeless songwriting. Ringo Starr, born July 7, 1940, then enjoyed 70s hits and film roles after the Beatles. Now tours with his all-star band and promotes peace. Mick Jagger, born July 26, 1943, then commanded 70s stages with explosive live shows. Now still touring stadiums with remarkable energy. Keith Richards, born Dec 18, 1943, then defined 70s rock guitar swagger. Now still recording and performing as a resilient rock survivor. David Bowie, born Jan 8, 1947, then reinvented himself through 70s glam rock eras. Now, his influence remains unmatched after his passing. Freddie Mercury, born Sept 5, 1946, then shocked 70s crowds with theatrical vocals and charisma. Now, his legacy resurged with major tributes and biopics. Robert Plant, born Aug 20, 1948, then led Led Zeppelin's 70s hard rock domination. Now, performs roots and folk music with critical acclaim. Ozzy Osbourne, born Dec 3, 1948, then helped pioneer heavy metal in the 70s. Now, mostly retired from touring, but still records and appears publicly. Alice Cooper, born Feb 4, 1948, then shocked 70s audiences with theatrical rock. Now, still tours with full stage spectacle and longevity. Peter Frampton, born Oct 22, 1950, then reached massive 70s fame with Frampton Comes Alive. Now, performs seated due to health issues, but still beloved. Neil Young, born Nov 12, 1945, then shifted between electric and acoustic 70s classics. Now continues releasing new music and advocating activism. Billy Joel, born May 9, 1949, then became a 70s radio staple with Piano Man era hits. Now fills arenas with long-running residency shows. Barry Manilow, born June 17, 1943, then ruled 70s ballads and adult contemporary charts. Now performs sold-out shows to devoted fans. Al Green, born Apar 13, 1946, then became a soul superstar with smooth 70s hits. Now performs occasionally while serving as a pastor. Neil Diamond, born Jan 24, 1941, then ruled 70s pop with sing-along anthems. Now retired from touring, yet remains celebrated worldwide. Rod Stewart, born June 10, 1945, then scored major 70s rock and pop hits. Now tours internationally with renewed vocal style. Barry Gibb, born Sept 1, 1946, then led the Bee Gees' 70s disco explosion. Now performs occasionally and preserves the Bee Gees' legacy. Bobby Gibb, Robin Gibb included via legacy, born Dec 22, 1949, then helped shape 70s harmony-driven disco. Now remembered for timeless vocal work. Morris Gibb, born Dec 22, 1949, then key force in Bee Gees' 70s arrangements. Now honored through documentaries and tributes. Bruce Springsteen, born Sept 23, 1949, then broke through with 70s classics like Born to Run. Now still delivering marathon live concerts. Bob Dylan, born May 24th, 1941, then shifted styles through 70s experimentation. Now tours steadily and releases acclaimed work. Gordon Lightfoot, born Nov 17, 1938, then released signature 70s storytelling ballads, now remembered globally after his passing. James Brown, born May 3rd, 1933, then brought unstoppable funk energy to 70s music. Now his grooves are sampled across modern genres. Al Jarreau, Born March 12, 1940, then broke wide in the 70s with jazz pop versatility. Now, his influence continues after his passing. Tom Jones, born June 7, 1940, then commanded 70s stages with powerful vocals. Now, still tours with strong voice and popularity. Engelbert Humperdinck, born May 2, 1936, then ruled 70s pop ballads with smooth delivery. Now, continues performing internationally. Gilbert O'Sullivan, born Dec 1, 1946, then known for quirky 70s pop songwriting. Now, still records and appears at select shows. Cat Stevens, Yusuf Islam, born June 21, 1948, then became a folk rock giant in the 70s. Now performs selectively with renewed spiritual direction. Jackson Browne, born Oct 9, 1948, then brought emotional songwriting to 70s rock. Now continues releasing socially conscious music. Don Henley, born June 22, 1947, then created 70s California rock classics with Eagles, now tours with Eagles in modern lineup. Glenn Frey, born Nov 6, 1948, then brought smooth vocals to 70s Eagles hits. Now remembered through tributes after his passing. Kenny Rogers, born Aug 21, 1938, then ruled 70s country pop with crossover hits. Now his songs remain staples after his passing. Willie Nelson, born April 29, 1933, then became an outlaw country hero in the 70s. Now performs select shows and records new albums. Waylon Jennings, born June 15, 1937, then led 70s outlaw country movement, now remembered as a pioneer of country rebellion. Chris Christopherson, born June 22, 1936, then delivered poetic 70s country songwriting, now retired from touring but celebrated widely. Glenn Campbell, born April 22, 1936, then hosted hit TV shows and topped 70s charts, now honored through documentaries after his passing. Peter Cetera, born Sept 13, 1944, then gave Chicago its signature 70s vocals, now performs occasionally as a solo artist. Dennis DeYoung, born Feb 18, 1947, then led Styx with theatrical 70s vocals, now performs solo shows featuring classic hits. Lou Gramm, born May 2, 1950, then powered late 70s rock with Foreigner's hits, now tours selectively as a veteran vocalist. Steve Perry, born June 22, 1949, then rose to late 70s fame with Journey, now rarely performs but releases occasional solo work. Peter Gabriel, born Feb 13, 1950, then fronted Genesis with avant-garde 70s style, now tours and releases politically themed projects. Phil Collins, born Jan 30, 1951, then became a Genesis singer in late 70s, now performs seated due to health but is still active. Bobby Caldwell, born Aug 15, 1951, then delivered smooth 70s soul pop classics. Now, his songs endure widely after his passing. John Denver, born Dec 31, 1943, then ruled 70s folk pop with uplifting hits. Now, his catalog remains beloved after his passing. Harry Chapin, born Dec 7, 1942, then sang narrative-driven 70s folk rock. Now, celebrated for humanitarian work and songwriting legacy. Jim Croce, born Jan 10, 1943, then hit big in early 70s with acoustic classics. Now, his recordings remain timeless after his early death. Richie Havens, born Jan 21, 1941, then remained a powerful 70s folk presence post-Woodstock. Now, his deep-voiced legacy lives on. Boz Scaggs, born June 8, 1944, then delivered polished blue-eyed soul in the 70s, now still tours with a refined blues rock sound. Kenny Loggins, born John 7, 1948, then rose through 70s soft rock with Loggins and Messina, now performs selectively and remains admired. John Fogerty, born May 28, 1945, then brought swamp rock flair into the 70s, now performs energetic concerts built on classic hits. Joe Cocker, born May 20th, 1944, then delivered gritty 70s rock soul vocals. Now his legacy continues through tribute concerts. Tom Petty, born Oct 20, 1950, then broke through in late 70s with raw rock anthems. Now his music dominates classic rock after his passing. Stephen Stills, born Jan 3, 1945, then made major 70s impact with CSNY. Now performs selectively and remains influential. Graham Nash, born Feb 2, 1942, then key 70s harmonist and songwriter, now records new music with political themes. David Crosby, born Aug 14, 1941, then shaped 70s folk rock harmonies, now his extensive recordings continue after his passing. Leonard Cohen, born Sept 21, 1934, then crafted deep poetic albums through the 70s. Now his writings and songs remain globally revered. Brian Ferry, Born Sept 26, 1945, then led Roxy Music's elegant 70s art rock, now performs sleek, refined concerts worldwide. Iggy Pop. Born Opera 21, 1947, then defined 70s punk intensity with the Stooges. Now, still performs with fearless stage presence. Lou Reed. Born Mar 2, 1942, then delivered influential 70s rock poetry, now honored as a cornerstone of alternative music. Meatloaf. Born Sept 27, 1947, then stormed the 70s with Bat Out of Hell. Now, his theatrical legacy continues after passing. Sylvester. Born Sept 6, 1947, then brought soaring vocals to late 70s disco. Now, celebrated as a trailblazer in dance music. Fela Kuti. Born Oct 15, 1938, then created politically charged Afrobeat grooves. Now, revered internationally after his death.